Welcome back to Expanding My Horizon, the show where my dad picks a movie, we watch it together, and then I review it. This time, my dad chose Whiplash. Or, well, I kinda did. Here is the thing. My dad told me a year ago about a wonderful movie about a drummer and his teacher, called Whiplash. He loved the movie, and he suggested that we should watch it together. But then we thought, hey, wouldn't it be cool to watch movies together? So that I can review them on my new YouTube channel? That's how Expanding My Horizon was born. I was really excited because I really wanted to watch Whiplash, but my dad was the one who picked the movies. So we ended up watching Alien and The Big Lebowski instead. I kept telling him how badly I wanted to watch Whiplash, and one evening he said, "Hey, let's watch Whiplash." I definitely pushed him to watch it, but it was worth it, because oh my god, this movie is a fucking masterpiece. It's just insane how good it is. So the story is about a young and promising drummer named Andrew, who gets into the best band of his school. The only problem is his teacher, Terence Fletcher, played by J.K. Simmons. He's a really mean and tough teacher who pushes people to their limits. Andrew sees him as a monster, but he realizes that Fletcher's tough approach actually helped him become a better musician. First of all, the characters are incredible. Andrew works really well because he's not perfect. He can be egotistical and selfish. He broke up with Supergirl because he thought his own career was more important than the love of his life. His selfishness makes him a pretty complex character, but we still have sympathy for him because Fletcher is so much worse. Terence Fletcher is an incredible character. He is dangerous, he is compelling, he is funny, but most of all, he's a human monster. What he does to people is terrible, but everything he does is justifiable. So he never feels like a one-dimensional monster. He feels human. J.K. Simmons does a wonderful job, as always, and he makes this character, this conflict, this world feel so much more believable. The music is outstanding, and the lighting tells the story in its own unique way. The fly analogy might be my favorite piece of wordless storytelling ever. The editing is absolutely perfect. It shows us the beautiful performances filled with passion and personality, and it makes us feel like we are there with Andrew. I could talk about this movie for hours. I could talk about how the title foreshadowed one of the most tragic events in the movie. I could talk about how the outstanding direction and cinematography makes the movie feel alive. I could talk about this movie forever, but the truth is that words cannot do this movie justice. The movie uses its plot and characters to ask interesting questions. Is it okay? Is it okay to push someone to the point where they start hating their lives so that they can become better artists? Is it okay to make your dreams come true if it means destroying every other part of your life? The movie leaves these questions unanswered because it wants you to find your own answer to them. When a movie tells you something, then it will stay in your head for a few days, maybe a week. But if a movie asks you a question, then that will stick with you for the rest of your life. I watched this movie right after watching the best show ever created, Arcane, but I did not even think about it for a second. My mind could only think about one thing: Whiplash. I have never played the drums, and I have never pushed myself or anyone else really hard. So I'm not going to pretend to relate to this movie, because I don't, but that doesn't matter. This is not one of those movies where you have to relate to them to understand them. This movie has amazing themes, a perfectly written, perfectly paced and perfectly executed story, outstanding characters, great visual storytelling and an insane score. This movie belongs on my pieces of art that are above 9.5 out of 10 list. In fact, it's the first movie ever on this channel to get that rare 10 out of 10. Why? Because I can't find anything to criticize. I cannot find any flaws in this movie, which is just insane. I can tell you 2 flaws of every single thing on my above 9.5 list. Spider-Verse would have been a better movie if we got a scene where we see how Gwen felt after seeing Peter again, and sometimes the comedy undercuts the emotion. Arcane Episode 2 did not need a cliffhanger, and Jace is a fucking Mary Sue. Breaking Bad Season 5 did not need the flash forwards because they lowered the stakes, and it used way too much licensed music for no reason. Hollow Knight's exploration could have been handled a lot better in my opinion. And also these guys. I downloaded someone else's gameplay for the footage you see on screen right now. Because I just didn't want to fight these guys again. That's how much I hate them. The score of the lighthouse is really not my thing. And the fact that the bird dies never feels like a big deal. See? I just told you 2 flaws of some of the best pieces of art ever made in my opinion. But I can't find a single one in Whiplash. That says a lot. Yeah, I'm less surprised as you are. This is not my favorite movie. There are at least 20 movies that I like more than this one. But in terms of objective quality, yeah, I'm gonna have to give this one a 10 out of 10. Literally perfect. Oh yeah, quick side note, DreamWorks announced Kung Fu Panda 4 a day after I told them to stop milking Kung Fu Panda. So well done guys.